What's up, YouTube? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is my review of the Hubsan X4 Black and White Edition. It's supposed to be an exclusive color, but I found that this thing actually flies better than the original version 2 Hubsan X4 for me. I think it's maybe the accelerometer and gyro is probably a little better, or maybe some improvements to the software or how they got it dialed in. I don't know, but this thing flies awesome. I like the way it flies. Indoors, you can really fly this thing circuits just like always, but now I can fly this thing fast, and it banks really well. I actually had to dial the rates down, but I did that with the other Hubsan as well, and I still wasn't able to fly it as well as I fly this one outdoors fast. But for the most part, it's a Hubsan. It's the same way. It controls the same way. It flies a little bit better. I think the accelerometer is just better, but for the most part, it's a Hubsan. The reactions to inputs are the same. It's the same sensitivity and every settings and all on the transmitter. This is a really nice flyer now for me. I really like this quad. The only drawback I can see is that the accelerometer still isn't up to par with the other Chinese quads that are floating around. A lot of them have better stability, and a lot of them recover better from flips and from funnels and all. The gyro might get mixed up a little sometimes, but not so much as this does. Just out of simple funnels, a lot of times it'll come out leaning, to one side, and you have to maybe land it, or maybe I find that doing pirouettes actually fixes that gyro when it's confused sometimes. But this is a really nice improvement over the previous version of the Hubsan X4. Let's look at the transmitter. The transmitter is the same, the typical Hubsan X4 transmitter. You can change the rates and all on here. There's a settings menu. If you hold down this stick here, it presses in as well. If you press it in and hold it down, it'll allow you to enter the setup mode, and where you can change your rates and dial them in as much as you want. However, there is a limit to how low they'll let you go, and I think that's a problem. They should just let you go all the way or close to all the way to the bottom and up to where it's barely moving. I think that would be to give us more control. But I think that's awesome that you can actually dial in and program the rates through the remote. I don't know any other quad that I have that you're able to do this. I hear that you can do this with the Drometer Omnis and the Latrax Alias. But the Hubsan so far is the only micro that I know of that you can actually program the rates from the transmitter. Another downside with this quad, I think, is they still didn't upgrade it to one button flips. You still have to slam the sticks on the transmitter from one side to the other in order to get it to flip, and it doesn't recover as well as the other micros that are out there. But it's a little fun, actually, I can say, slamming the sticks from one side to the other to try to get a nice flip in. It's challenging, and you can get better with it. It's you actually get better with doing the flips, because sometimes it don't flip all the time. When you slam it back and forth, it takes practice. And then on this side, if you press this stick in, it'll turn off the flipping mode so you don't accidentally do flips. So it's pretty thought out. Hubsan it seems like they put a lot of thought into their transmitter and the quad. The lights on this quad are on the top of the motor pods here, so they're not really that visible from the bottom. So if you're one of those guys who like to fly high, then you're not going to be doing any night flying with this thing, because you can't see the LEDs from the bottom when you have it above. Oh, also I found that using the props from the CG022, the flight performance of this quadcopter is improved. It recovers better with the flips. When you have the CG022 props on it, it flies faster. It seems a little more stable. You can bank turns and do funnels more tight without losing control with those props. So those props do wonders for this quadcopter. So I actually just put the stock props back on just for this review. But as soon as this review is done, I'm going to take these off and put the CG022 props back on. I have them on deck here. So they're really nice with this quad. The yaw rate on this quad out of box, when you buy it, the yaw rate is all the way at the highest rate, the highest level setting, and it's insane. Like, the yaw rate spins so fast that it's impossible for you to do any bank turns or anything with the yaw rate that high, dialed in that way, because you're bound to over yaw, or it's just uncontrollable how fast the yaw rate is. And it pitches really deep, but it's really responsive. As soon as it's really tightly proportional, to try to get you to understand what I mean. When you go extreme to the full input on here, it'll do it right away. So there's no delay, there's no smoothness in between or anything like that. It'll just go right into a deep pitch. And then the accelerometer is not as good as some of the other accelerometers in the micros this size, and a lot of the Hubsan clones have better accelerometers. So when you slam it that way, and then if you take it off, it sort of, it takes the accelerometer a while to get that corrected. So it makes it a little unstable when you slam the stick forward with fast forward flight. Whereas with other micros its size, they handle that pretty well. But there's a new Hubsan coming out, and I'm expecting that new model to have a better accelerometer and gyros in it. But this is a really nice quad to fly around. It takes a high skill level to fly it fast. However, there is, on low rates, you should be able to manage flying this thing around. It comes with an extra set of spare props. It comes with a nice instructions manual. Where's the instruction? It fell. This is the instructions manual here. It's in nice legible English. It explains everything really well. And it comes with this thing also. It explains how you can set the rates and how you can recalibrate the transmitter. And so, it also comes with a prop guard. I hardly ever use it. I removed it, and I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in my prop guard box somewhere. But it does come with a nice prop guard, so you can, a beginner would fare pretty decently with this, flying it around the house with the prop guard on low. So I was able to locate the prop guard. So this is the prop guard here, just to show you guys. And also, it comes with a 240 milliamp hour battery. It says 240 milliamp hours. So that's odd. And it also says Hubsan on there. So yeah, that's all there is to say about it. Let's go check it out in flight. Okay, so this is the indoor flight review of the Hubsan X4 Black and White Edition exclusive. And I'm pretty sure I didn't mention this in a review, but if you hold down the down throttle trim button, you can toggle the lights on and off on it. And also if you press this stick in here, you can disable flipping so you don't accidentally flip. And I'm going to do that right now. So let's see how it flies. Whoops, looks like I reversed the channels here. Fooling around, let me get it. The channels back the right way. Okay, the channels are back to normal again. Yep. So this is the low rates out of box. When you put it in low rates, this is going to be the pitch. So, but this is going to be your yaw. So pretty fast yaw on low rates. It doesn't flip on your low rates. So let's go into high rates. Okay, we're in high rates now. Out of box, this is how much pitch you're going to get. It's going to be this sensitive. So this thing is really sensitive. It's just about as sensitive as like a V636. As soon as you hit a direction on the input, it reacts right away. And also, it's very proportional. Very minute inputs you can give it, and it'll register. You'll actually see the quadcopter moving. So, for leaning just the exact amount that you're telling it to lean. You know, I lost control trying to overcorrect there. It's very easy to lose control of it with the rates dialed in the way you get it out of box. So you have to go really easy on the sticks in order to fly circuits in expert mode. We're still in expert mode now, so you sort of have to fly like this. No really hard banking or anything like that, because your yaw is really fast. You're bound to spin out of control if you try to do a nice banking turn. I've learned to just be very easy on the sticks when you're doing a banking turn on expert mode, but the average person isn't going to be able to do that too easy on expert mode. So look to crash, be looking to crash just a lot if you're going to try to do bank turns and all with this without dialing the rates down. You have to have a lot of practice in order to be able to do it that way. And this one actually handles a little better than before. I had the Hubsan X4. I actually had one. It had blue in the front and green in the back. So I don't know if the lighting is different with different versions, but that one that I had, it didn't fly as well as this one. The accelerometer got confused very easily. It used to spin out of control and just crash and burn. Speaking of crashing and burning, I just did. Let me get it back out. I think that's really all there is to show for you guys on expert and beginner mode out of box. So I'm going to put the prop guards on it. I'm going to put the prop guard on it and fly it around with that so you guys can see how that is. Okay, we're back with the Hubsan X4 black and white limited edition, sitting right next to its arch nemesis. Well, one of them anyway. That's the WL Toys V252 Pro, one of its clones. And so let's check out the Hubsan with this prop guard on it. And you go to high rates. So we're on high rates with it now. You do some nice circuits with it. Now let's bump it around a little. So the prop guard works well. Does its purpose really well. It protects those props from getting all banged up when you crash. It doesn't help the accelerometer from spinning out of control, but it does protect the props in a hard crash. And it actually makes this thing a little more docile as far as flying with it. Let me go to low rates. Okay, we're back in low rates with it now. So it becomes an awesome flyer for beginners. It looks like we're at LVC now. It also drains the battery faster, but at least your props will be protected though. The LVC warning is pretty good with it, so I'll just fly it around a little bit more. Let you guys check it out. It's high rates. So people talk about fast yaw rates. This thing has one of the fastest yaw rates I've seen. Look at that. I think that might be the fastest yaw rate. I don't think that yaw rate can be matched by any of its clones or any other micro that I know of. The LS124 comes close, but I think this Hubsan got it. So let's just land it, and I'll be right back with the form factor that I like to fly this thing in. The Hubsan X4. Okay, so this is the Hubsan X4 with the rates dialed in the way I like them to be in the transmitter. And I have the CG022 props on there, so we're going to see how it flies with these. Right away, I'm pretty sure you can hear the difference in sound. It's a lot more quiet. This is low rates, how I like it. So pitch pretty much the same. However, the yaw is slowed down. That's the yaw there. So pretty nice for flying circuits. Okay, I don't know if I remembered to mention this in the review, but it doesn't flip in low rates. So in low rates you can't do any flips. Let's go to high rates. Now we're in high rates. So this is the pitch. Now, pitch is pretty much untouched. I just keep the pitch at about 90 or 80. So this is the yaw. So pretty slow compared to what the yaw was out of box. I find it to be more controllable this way. So let's try some flips. So you can see the flips are more controlled. It's easier to do the flips. Easier to fly circuits and do funnels. So yeah, it flies awesome in this form factor here. This combination makes this thing more precise. The accelerometer seems to be working a little better. It's still drifty though, coming out of a funnel. Let's see, coming out of a funnel, it drifts back. Out of a funnel, drifts back again. Let's see, out of a bank and turn. Bank and turns aren't too bad. Still really responsive. Let me take flipping off so I don't accidentally do a flip when I'm trying to do some maneuvering here. Yeah, so the Hubsan X4 is a pretty nice flyer. It's fun to fly, it's challenging. You can have a lot of fun learning to master this thing, flying it around indoors and outdoors. It's a blast this way in this form factor. It's a blast outdoors because you have more control of it and you can fly it fast and hard without worrying about banging the thing out. So yeah, let's actually have some fun and do some flips with it. I was pretty low when I started that flip. Let me get a little more height. See if we can get a forward flip. It doesn't recover well. Once you bump something pretty hard with it, it doesn't recover well. Let me see. It's good that the frame sort of breaks away though. Instead of snapping, the frame just comes loose a little, and you can easily just pop them back in. This thing is really very durable. Now with the WL Toys V252 Pro, it would probably be broken by now with a crash like that. But the Hubsan X4's frame is really hard. This thing has withstood many crashes and hard hits like that, and it pretty much came out unscathed. That's another thing about the Hubsan X4's accelerometer and gyro. It doesn't have any spin, so if you hit something and it starts to spin wildly, you're bound to crash and burn because it loses control. It never regains stability. Whereas a lot of the other micros, Cheerson comes to mind because they have really great anti-spin in their accelerometers and gyros. The Cheerson CX10, the CX30, all those quads have really good anti-spin on them. But Hubsan's coming out with a newer version of the X4, so I'm really curious as to how well it's going to fly. The improvements that they make to the accelerometer and gyro and all, I'm looking forward to that. In the meanwhile, let's just fly this thing around until we reach LVC. Alright, there's LVC. The Hubsan has a really nice LVC warning. So let's see how long we can fly around and get flashing this way. I usually don't do this. I usually just land it as soon as they start flashing. But for the sake of the review, I'll let it drain fully. As you can see, it's a pretty nice LVC warning. You have plenty of time to fly it and get it back to yourself for a safe landing. It doesn't allow you to flip anymore once the LVC kicks in. Yeah, so pretty extensive LVC warning it has. Wow, the LVC warning is longer than I thought it would be. Still going. Yeah, I can't remember if I even mentioned the LVC warning in the review. As you guys can see, this LVC warning is really nice. And there it is, it finally went So that's it. The Hubsan X4 exclusive white and black edition with CG022 props and the rates dialed down on the transmitter. Thanks for watching.